haven't heard.
Heard what?
Annalise's house burned down. The cops arrested her.
Now that we know who's under the sheet, we're left with even more questions. Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 5 burning how to get away with murder questions we need answered.
Crap, you dragged my ass in. You think I'm gonna rat on you?
Why not, if they gave you immunity?
For this list, we're looking at the questions and loose ends from the show's mid-season finale that we hope get resolved sometime during the second half of the season.
I burned the files. What? You don't think that was good enough?
All of our questions come from the fall finale episode, and we'll be discussing major plot points. So consider this your spoiler alert.
Someone went to the police.
What are you talking about?
Annalise was arrested because of an anonymous source.
Annalise called everyone over to the house. Did you know about that?
Number 5. Why did Annalise call the Keating Five to her house?
Annalise?
Just when we thought any trace of Rebecca was long gone, we find out her body has turned up in the woods.
You dated Rebecca Sutter, right?
Wes gets a call from his lawyer who tells him to go to the police station, with Wes thinking it's probably related to the Mahoney case. However, Wes is told that they have questions about Annalise and his ex-girlfriend Rebecca.
We'd like Wes to cooperate in an ongoing investigation.
An investigation into Professor Keating.
A body was found in the woods. We got a DNA match to someone who was associated with Miss Keating.
So when Annalise calls up her students to meet at her house, our first guess is that she wanted to tell them she was being investigated.
Hello?
Are you with Wes?
No, we had a fight.
Find him and get everyone to the house right away.
Why?
Although knowing this show's knack for leaving out information and playing around with timelines, it's more than possible that Annalise had another reason for calling them all over. Number 4. Who is the anonymous source that gave Annalise's name?
An anonymous source. That's all they would tell me.
Later on, when Annalise gets arrested, she's told that it's for arson and first-degree murder, and the detectives tell her their evidence is an anonymous tip.
The official charge, arson and first-degree murder.
From the flash forward we saw 2 episodes ago, we see Wes asking for immunity, seemingly agreeing to take Annalise down.
You said this would cover obstruction of justice and conspiracy, so I want that in writing too.
That's blanket immunity.
You want someone to help take her down.
However, when we now see the same scene at the end of the finale, now as a flashback, we see that Wes never actually finished making the immunity deal.
Wes, I need you to come to the house right away. I'll explain in person, but it's important.
And for obvious reasons, Wes isn't the anonymous source, so we're hoping for an answer to this one sooner rather than later.
Is it you? Look me in the eye and say it's not. Then I can move on.
It's not me.
Number 3. Who is the father of Laurel's baby?
Dr. Lowell. What? I'm the med student. I was sent to get the lab results. Get to the point. She's pregnant.
We're not sure what would be the bigger twist. Laurel being left to raise the baby alone if Wes is the father, or if Frank somehow turns out to be the dad.
Laurel's at Middleton Hospital.
I'm here.
You get off the phone and find out how she is.
Of course, based on what we've seen this season, Wes is most likely the father. We also don't know if Laurel's baby survives, although our guess is that he or she will, most likely being a silver lining to Wes's traumatic death, as well as a way to carry on his legacy.
Laurel's pregnant.
She can be okay.
Luckily, we won't have to wait too long to get an answer, as showrunner and creator Pete Nowak has said this will be answered in the winter premiere.
Did you see him in the house? Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened to it? No.
Number 2. Who started the fire? A major question is whether or not the person who set off the explosion at Annalise's house is the same person who killed Wes. Did the murderer cause the explosion to cover their tracks?
Are you here? Please! Now, just calm down. Calm down. Tell me! Tell me!
We also want to know how Nate knew that Wes was dead before the fire. Also, what was Nate doing there? Did Annalise call him over there as well? Or did he have his own reasons for being at the house?
Annalise? Annalise?
We're left with several questions surrounding this, especially after the ominous scene where we see Annalise burning her files and leaving her vodka bottle on the floor. If you thought that was some kind of clue, think again, because once Nate enters the house, the fire is actually out. We just want to know who set it off.
Annalise?
Number 1. Who killed Wes? This is a death that no one saw coming, especially after we thought his survival was confirmed during the flash forward at the police station. Within this one enormous question comes a bunch of other ones. How will the Keating Five react? Are we now supposed to call them the Keating Four? How will Annalise go on without her favorite student? And how could have anyone killed poor innocent Wes?
You circling cause of death yet?
Officially? No.
Unofficially.
Things were finally looking up for our favorite waitlisted law student. But of course, in true ShondaLand fashion, we should have known that it wouldn't have lasted.
Lonnie, who is it? It's Wes.
Thankfully, the rest of the season will explore what happened to Wes from the time he left the police station to when he was murdered, which means we'll still get to see him on our screen, albeit in flashbacks. Do you agree with our list?
I'm so sorry.
Which how to get away with murder question do you need answered ASAP?
Don't you think maybe you've had enough to drink?
Do not try to monitor me like one of your little freshmen.
Just don't think that now is the best time of getting crunk.
For more mysterious top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Ms. Mojo.
I rely on you more than I should.
I'm just happy to be here.
I know, but